Welcome back to another CEO.CA interview. Today we're seated with Rohan Hazelton, a man who's in charge of a company called DynaResource. It's the first time we've actually spoken about this company, so very much looking forward to this conversation.
Great. Nice to meet you, Rachel. Thank you for having me.
So, Rohan, let's talk about a couple key catalysts that I've read about, which is that you're coming out with an updated MRE in the late quarter of 2025, so very soon. Plus, there's just growing production potential here at your project, San Jose Garcia in Mexico. So I guess let's break that down. Let's start with the actual location you're in and then talk about those catalysts if we can.
Great. Thank you very much, Rachel. We're in western Mexico in the Sierra Madres, in the lower Sierra Madres. We're coming out with an updated mineral resource estimate, and also it'll be a reserve calculation at the end of this quarter. What's important and interesting is that we haven't had a resource estimate published for approximately 12 years. We have a 2012 historical resource that estimates 1.1 million ounces in all categories, and we're looking to be updating that in order to prepare us for an uplisting to a major exchange later this year.
So you mentioned to me off camera just before we got started that you're relatively new to the company, but the company is much older than that.
Yeah.
So can you give us a history of what the company has kind of gone through to be where it is at today?
Sure, great. Thanks very much. Yes, I joined in the middle of last year. I was invited to come in by the board and the company to help take DynaResource to the next level. But DynaResource has an exciting and long history of approximately 25 years. In late 1990s, I started to acquire these concessions in San Jose de Gracia, Mexico, then started to explore them for over a decade, and then started putting it in production just almost 10 years ago. So we've been in production for almost 10 years, started at a smaller scale at 100 tons a day, started to increase production slowly, and then 2 years ago, doubled production to 800 tons a day and approximately 30,000 ounces, which is what we're expecting to produce this year.
Now, something that we talk about at CEO here and there is about operating in Mexico specifically, how it's gone from ups and downs. Recently, It's kind of changed toward the positive. What is it like being a producer operator in that region, and what sets you up for success as well?
Sure, great. Well, I have significant history operating in Mexico. I started my mining career with what was Wheaton River, became Goldcorp. We acquired the Lewisman mines, which includes the San Dimas and Teotita mine, which is not too far away from where we operate now. So I think Mexico is a fantastic mining country, both in terms of mineral wealth and also in terms of an educated mining population and access to labor parts and so on. There's been times of greater difficulty mining in Mexico, in particular in the previous administration under Manuel Lopez Obrador, where some of the permits and things in Mexico became a little harder to receive. That doesn't impact us, as we have all our permits and our concessions. Right. We have permits that are still valid for almost 50 years. We're an underground operator, mining approximately 800 tons a day. In the new administration under Claudia Sheinbaum, we're starting to see more opening towards mining and business in general. And we understand that already some things are improving in terms of issuing permits and so on. And so we see it as a improving and growing jurisdiction. And I have significant contacts in Mexico. I'm able to leverage that in order to bring people into the team that that have been part of now improving and taking San Jose de Gracia to another level.
Now, as a gold producer that's focused on having a tightly held structure, it's I don't want to say not as common, but it is an important factor that I think is missing in a lot of the juniors that we see here. Why else would you say look at DynaResource and I want investors to do their due diligence and kind of understand the story better?
Sure. Yeah. So on a share capital share structure basis, we have a very tight share structure. Under 30 million shares basic, and that's the original share count from the 25 years we've been in existence. And it's very tightly held with, say, approximately 15 people that own 70% of the company. They've been very supportive in growing and financing this company all throughout, including after I joined in the middle of last year. Some major shareholders invested in total approximately 8.5 million of capital in order to be used to optimize and grow operations, investing in plant and other mobile equipment and in exploration. And now we're looking to be able to uplist the company to grow that share capital to access broader markets in order to be able to accelerate our growth in terms of especially exploration, and then later in terms of growing likely with other assets.
And when, in terms of timeline, are you expecting to uplist?
Yeah, so we're looking to uplist in the second half of this year, likely towards the end of the third quarter. And we're looking at uplisting on a major North American exchange, either the TSX or the NASDAQ. We're currently listed on the OTCQX and an SEC registrant. So there'll be some things that'll be easier in terms of uplisting, say on the NASDAQ, and we're evaluating that right now.
Great. Well, thank you again for being here, Rohan. For our viewers, you can search DynaResource, DYNR, on the OTCQX. Thanks for watching.